Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Roundup. It is week 15 in the group stages. As you can see, there's a slightly different setup to normal, but with a few technical issues. But I think we're all sorted to at least get the show going. So, just me and Tom today. Tom, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yep.
Yeah,
Clearly, the Sky money has lured the other two away for the big money. You're
I
now
think
in
so. Yeah.
Championship BBC News commentary.
Yeah, brilliant. So I think we can, I think just get started. We've got quite a few games to go through today. I think we're at 13, including the live one, which is sort of updating as we play at the moment already. Just another touchdown come in. But I think we can just go to the standings and then start looking at the matches. There we are. So we should now have the screen up. Yeah, that's responding.
Yep.
Cool. Well, we'll start where we left off at the end of last week with Simon against Jane, which was sort of being played while we were having the roundup last time. And a great result for Jane here, kind of getting the touchdowns she needed. I think, what a result for Jane after. And this was off the back of Jane's draw against, oh no, near John. No, it was a draw against John, wasn't it?
It was a draw against John, yeah. So she
Yeah.
seems to definitely be coming into her form with Skaven. I know she's for a number of seasons played Necromantic.
Yep.
So it was a bit of a disappointment that she moved away. But this one kind of started not in her favour, to be brutally honest, because of pouring rain. I know they've got Edge 2 and everything like that, but we know how the dice roll. And straight away with casualties and fouls and missed games on her side, and equally went straight away into a 1-0 down by turn
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, and I think I wonder how much that weather change really helped her there. Going from two-turn touchdowns in a row. And yeah, pouring rain is a nightmare to deal with, but having sure hands and passing, I think, yeah, great result here. I'm sure Simon was disappointed, but I think both teams are doing sort of really making changes. Let's have a quick look at Simon's, which there might be some more games of his later in the week. I think there possibly might be, but I'm doing this improv as we go, so it's a surprise to me as everyone else. So yeah, I mean, this is looking like a scary Orc team. Plenty of skills, especially on the key players like the blockers and the blitzers. Anything you'd do differently here, Tom, with the skills available at the moment?
No, but I'm curious to know your view on the troll. The troll's now on 8. Are we going for a stat increase or a secondary on that? And if so, what would you go for on that troll?
Yeah, I mean, block is probably a pretty solid choice to make it a bit more offensive. I think I've built mine as a bit more of a sort of roadblock, putting guard on it, and I think I've got stand firm now. But I think Simon's been doing quite well with the throw team, so strong arm might be another good choice there. But yeah, and then let's have a quick look at Jane's team as well as that's moving on. I think wasn't after this game she got the stat up on the gutter runners, but so actually I know she has at least one more game, so we'll come
She
back to
does.
Jane's afterwards. Yeah. Okay, and we're going to keep it moving because there's quite a lot of games to go through, so we'll try and keep it at a good pace for everyone so we're not here all evening. We're now into Avengers. We
Assemble.
have God. I'm not normally in control, so I don't normally get to express my disdain. You can be let off, but I'm sure Scott will be happy that you did that. So now we're at Nick and Will. getting to a seemingly unstoppable streak against Will, carrying on his form. 2-0 win to the Hawks here. And well, Nick wasn't letting him get away with it easily. Plenty of fouls coming in and casualties, which must have been APOC'd with Borak, and continuing the fouls, trying to remove players. But I don't think there was any sort of big removals from fouls. So plenty of fouls thrown, but no big removal here.
No, but there's one big and blocker with a -1 on AV on casualty, which what is that, down to a 9?
Oh yes, yeah. I completely overlooked that. Yeah, so
and also, not to give too much away, it is the team captain as well.
Yeah. So yeah, let's have a quick look at Will's team and how it's going. I know he's got I think one more game to play. But yeah, so he's missing his big and block team captain with 12 SBP. So I would imagine he might be staving for another skill up, but again, that's a bit of a guess. And a strength 5 Biggin is terrifying. I know I've got a strength 4 blitzer, but I'm sort of more scared of the Biggin blocker, I think. Which, if you give that break tackle, is cage diving on a 3+, I think.
That's lovely, isn't it? It's a bit different to the previous one we just had with the Goreforge Smashers, on the basis that they're very much the Rude Boys are very much a bashy team because they've only got one goblin. So they're obviously going for the full-on bash on this side of things.
Yeah, I think so. And sort of speccing into these mighty blows early on the blitzers is definitely a way to keep accelerating that. And it looks like building the thrower as a bit more of a ball carrier, 7 touchdowns on that thrower. It's maximizing the movement 6, but then also not tying up your blitzers with ball carrying duties when you can get them to hit things, which is definitely a good way of doing it. And do we have any more Nick games coming up, Tom, or should we have a quick look at his team?
Just very quickly, I know that Jane, we've got a huge amount of games with. Well, not huge, but a few games. I think that's the only one for his.
Nick? Yeah, okay, let's have a quick look then. So, yeah, definitely embracing the random, which I think is always a great fun with Nurgle. Plenty of pretty strong skills been randomized here. There's some random guards, random tackle and chosen 2 heads. I think those pestigores are both scary. Yeah, really, really fun looking team. And I don't know, he may have one more game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, one more game to go. But for a redraft next season, this team could be terrifying. And I know Nick loves playing Nurgle, so that might be what happens.
Yeah, hasn't really leaned in like previous seasons full into the mutations, because he's got a few standards, your blocks and stuff. But again, I wonder whether that's because he's just had to do it because everyone else is doing it.
I think so. It's the constant elite skill arms race we're all dealing with, I think. Okay. Next, we're back to Jane in the Stars group, but this time against Phil. Phil getting a 3-1 win here, which is that Phil's first win? I can't remember. No, not his first one, but definitely a continuation of form. But yeah, it seems like Phil might be sort of rolling into the human playstyle a bit more now. I think they've had quite a lot of changes, but yeah, no major casualties, but just touchdown after touchdown, which perhaps there was a lot of knockouts during this game. But yeah, I wonder what would have given the humans the edge here. What do you think?
I don't know what his skills he had, because looking at his team, he's got quite an array of skills on the key players, like human catchers and throwers.
Yeah,
and he's kind of almost playing Skaven at their own game in this kind of game, to be really honest. It was interesting to actually see that Jane had inducements, which was interesting because I would have thought, because I thought that Phil hadn't played that many games, and I think Jane's getting to the end of all her games.
Yeah,
Clearly, both of them dodged a bullet twice on weather. So they obviously had weather at the kickoff right at the end. It seems a bit of a quiet match, just of touchdowns and weather changes, really.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, which is perhaps not what the fans would love to see, but I mean, 3-1 touchdown, still a relatively high scoring game. And you're
Yeah.
right, Phil's team getting these kind of array of randoms is a really interesting way of sort of quickly skilling up players and making them menaces through
Ooh.
randoms.
Let's,
Yeah,
let's be
definitely a
honest.
fun way of doing
Sorry to interrupt. He's got a
it. No, no,
human
please.
catcher, which is 155k now.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
that might be why Jane got some inducements out of this game. And yeah, so Phil was saying in chat, yeah, he just had better dice than Jane in this game, which, you know, if you're not getting cashes, but you are getting knockdowns, if you're then making the dodges and pickups, that can be enough to win the game. Yeah, brilliant. Well done, Phil. Moving on. We are now returning to Jane again. Definitely seeing focus of Jane here, but good that she's managing to get these last few games in the last kind of week, or, you know, the last couple of weeks before the end of the season. A victory for Joe here, which I think is his first league victory, which is a huge congratulations to him. Taking Acorn, an extra reroll, and double kegs here. And I saw a bit of this game. It kind of played outside the store, but yeah, and I think it was the turn 15 touchdown from Jane was an authentic one-turn touchdown with Gutter Runner, which is always really, really nice to see. Especially, you know, not as much as I love throw teammate one-turn touchdowns, getting the chain push touchdown is very impressive. But yeah, I mean, what do you think of Joe's performance here?
Well, 3-2 is a fantastic result, to be honest, as your first win of any season. It's you know, Jane's plays a good game, and you know she knows how this Skaven team works now. So to get 3 touchdowns against Skaven is a very, very good kind of result. So I think he must be proud of himself on that side of things. But it's also really nice to see, again, as I always think about it, is that never say die attitude with the last touchdown going to Jane in turn 15.
Definitely. Yeah, and I think that was the one she got the skill up with. You know, that extra 2 SPP helped bump her up into being able to get that AV9 gutter runner, which, you know, is still a pretty good skill up. Just having that bit more resilience and lets you build a star a bit more safely. And it's only 20, no, is that right? 10k for an AV9 up?
Really?
Because it's 20 for block plus the 10k tax.
Yeah.
And then then only 10k for the armor up. So sort of a good long-term investment if she's planning on redoing it.
Yeah. Also, just to interject through chat, we can neither confirm or deny that Scott is in kind of contractual agreements with the A&DBBL channel. That's why he's not on this on this Monday Night Roundup for the first time in ages.
Yeah, we I'm sure wish him all the best in his absolutely real deal he's dealing with. Yeah, and Leanne saying how Joe's sort of improving over the season, which he definitely is, and yeah, really looking forward to seeing him and keep coming back. And Mr. Feek saying he would do a lot for an AV9 gutter runner. I don't know what he would want to do, but maybe let's move on swiftly. Into Avengers, don't do it. We are going to Andy and Nick. So Andy getting a 2-1 win here with his goblins. Yeah, and sort of I'm imagining, a fair number of fouls coming from both teams in this one. I think everyone's giving Scott Norman a run for his money this time. Andy getting cheerleader coach mascot on free bribes, so obviously not scared of fouling. But it seems like that didn't really deter Nick either, with foul after foul each turn. Early touchdown from the Nurgle team, but then Pogo is swooping through, getting the kind of 2 touchdowns on the return drives. Any big thoughts on this one, Tom?
Yeah, it's interesting you got the touchdown in early, because let's be honest, Nurgle have been really solid this season. So why rush it, kind of thing? Do you just slow the game down, especially when you're playing against goblins? And I don't know. It's an interesting one, because I suppose he got the touchdown, and then turn 6, he absolutely mullered the Doom Diver as well with a -1 movement, which is actually interesting.
Yeah,
But
that's a big loss, isn't it?
that is a big loss, especially in this season, as we know. But then the Pogoer comes in, and then obviously you've got the Pogoer again. So it's interesting to see in this season how different players are now coming to their fore, especially with the Goblins.
Yeah, definitely. And I think goblins, everyone sort of wails on them a little bit, but I think they are potentially quite strong this edition. And Andy's definitely giving everyone a run for their money with them. Getting a lot of kind of chosen skills here. A block pogo or blodge pogo movement 7, 4 points away from a stat up. It's kind of actually quite a scary piece. He was, I think, running quite high on team value before, but it looks like things might have sort of been shifted down, or some firings from last time I looked.
Got news in the chat saying that Nick is really sneaky with his pestigores. Every game he'll try and snake them through with 2-headed 2+ edge dodgers. So yeah.
Yeah, and now with the steady footing, that's sort of a 2-up dodge, which then you can 6-up ward save.
Yeah.
Very, very scary. Okay, moving on. So I think these upcoming games I was in store for most of, but we will start with yours, Mr. Hovel. So a 3-2 win against Ben and his gnomes with the necromantic. This was great fun to watch. This one's on BloodbowlLive and was streamed and recorded, and we got a nice raid from Dizzy Best halfway through, which it's nice to see some of the sort of online Blood Bowl free crowd coming over and watching some sort of live tabletop games. How'd it go, Tom? Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was a fun game. It's always fun against playing against Ben. So if you ever get a chance to, please, he is the probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Which was really unfortunate, because he had such a bad run of luck in the first half. So clearly we started off with pouring rain, which doesn't help anyone. And he chose to kick to me, and I got a touchback straight off the bat. And I'd put my werewolf right on the sideline, where he had sprint werewolf, which had no one near him by miles. Hence the turn 2 touchdown. Then there was a bit of he had real problems, unfortunately, with with his dice. Those tree men couldn't, hit for toffee. The amount of double skulls and one push were ridiculous, even with guard on zombies. So it was a real tough one for him, unfortunately. Plus, also on the reset, we got the one where the turn moves forward. So literally,
he lost a turn. As well.
He lost a turn. Yeah. So it was, but he came back, obviously, clearly 1-1 straight in there. So that was quite nice. Then on turn 8, I managed to bring it back. He literally came straight back within 3 turns, to bring it back to 2-2. By that time, we're in the second half, and again,
nervous?
Sorry,
were you a bit nervous?
I know what he's got some really good skilled up players. So his tree man, they were brilliant in the first game we played against. I just knew that he could do 1-turn touchdowns. So in the second half, what I did was I focused on taking out players. So I started bringing the werewolves through, bringing the flesh golems through, and my dice were on fire. They literally started carving up people left, right, and center, to the point that at the end of the game, he literally had just 2 tree men on the pitch.
Wow,
so
nearly cleared him.
Yeah. So I had a point where I was having 2 die on a tree man with werewolves, but unfortunately all I could get was pushers, which was a real shame.
No claws.
And then I got to a point where I was like, I've only got 2 more turns. I really need to get this ball on the line before anything else happens. So I bottled it, and I just took the goal runner in for the final touchdown.
Very good. Well done. This was a great game to watch. I think it's definitely one to, if you want a really entertaining game to just have on in the background, this is definitely one of those. So go watch that on YouTube. Let's have a quick look at Ben's team. He's as you said, these trees are scary. He chose break tackle on the treeman after that game, which I love. Which is not moving far, but is definitely getting out of there on a 2+ wherever. Sprint on the fox, and I think he looks like fired the fox, you strength down, and hired a new one. He's down a Beastmaster for next time, but kind of getting the dodges where he needs them. A really, really great sort of first season, first round of season. So really looking forward to seeing how this team does in the knockouts when they come up.
Absolutely. A multiple block on a treeman is really, really interesting. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, because it's still strength 4 on 2 blocks unadjusted, and you've got the guard pieces around. Very good. Next one, I think. So this game was going on next to you, Tom. I don't know if you managed to see much of it. So this is Jamie's Old World Alliance versus Sam's Black Orcs. I was due to stick around for only an hour and watch a bit of these games. And the more and more I watched this game, the more I couldn't leave the store. This was just nail-bitingly close, which I don't think the sort of tour play really gives it justice for. But I think by the end of the first half, I think Sam had 5 players and Jamie had 6 players left. And at the end of both drives, I think failed on Sam snake eyesing into the end zone to score, and the end of Jamie's drive ended with a halfling snake eyesing a dodge out to score. And it was just, every time I looked over, there were fewer and fewer players on the pitch. It was just absolutely crazy. Did you kind of see any of this while you were playing, Tom, or were you so focused?
I know it's going to be my mission that to kind of write an official letter to Tour Play to please please allow us to register knockouts. Because, like you say, every 5 minutes I was looking over and going, hang about, there's only 5 people on the pitch for this. What on earth's going on here? So it was an absolute game of attrition, really, of who can stay on the pitch the longest.
Yeah, that's it. And I think it was, I mean, the break tackle on the York teams was just an absolute menace, with Sam being able to dodge out on twos, and to kind of get where he needed to. And, you know, this team is looking pretty scary as well for, you know, with the Blackhawks being able to still secure the ball because they don't have the unsteady. He was kind of never really down. Like, he always had an option to carry the ball, as long as he could sort of clear people away from it enough. And yeah, every time I looked over, it looked like a player got removed each turn. So yeah, nearly a double pitch clear, and ending in a very close 0-0. What a great game.
I think break tackle and wrestle are the new block and dodge. They're coming to their form in this game.
Yeah, and because it's the perfect thing for diving into a cage to try and secure that ball down. Yeah, brilliant game. Moving on. James and Leanne here. So Tomb King v Tomb King. James getting a 3-0 here, which was, I think, harder fought than it looked. I think Leanne James sort of, they were quite keen because they had a game run on fairly long when they played before. They were quite keen to kind of play to clock and kind of keep the pace up, which I think they both did really, really well with. It was sort of, there were just a few sort of openings that James managed to secure down, and I think it is with sort of Tomb King on Tomb King, it does feel like whoever wins that first scrap gets the edge. Yeah, kind of the sort of getting knockouts and removals on sort of particular Tomb Guardians on Leanne's side opened her up, which meant that James could sort of press that advantage quite a lot, and just kind of screen off and get around. But yeah, I guess you probably didn't see any of this one as it was sort of happening behind you, didn't you, Tom?
No, unfortunately I didn't. But I think it's interesting with these Tomb Kings because I still kind of wonder, because I've obviously got the set. Are they something that interests you to play? No?
I don't know. So I painted them all up when I got them, and was sort of quite excited to try them. I think I've only played one friendly with them, and nothing sort of, I guess, I don't know. I think I need to give them a proper go. I think the sort of having the 4 big strength 5s is fun, but I think until you start getting the mighty blow, they're not that scary. But you know, Leanne's team is now getting to that scary point with you know, block on the thrower, mighty blow on 2 of the Guardians already. And I think they're quite skill dependent, which might be, you sort of need that early advantage to get it sort of moving. And you know, and James is looking very good as well with 2 chosen block on the big Guardians, a couple of guards, mighty blows. Yeah, they're both looking quite strong teams.
Would you like to play either of these in the next season then, if they get redrafted?
No, I think they would both be terrifying in the next season for sure. Yeah, interesting. James is running quite high with subs, having 14 total. And I think he is in chat. I think that's Slime Lord. I think that's James. But yeah, I wonder if it's to allow him fouling game or just a bit more security to keep sort of 11 on the field at all times.
Yeah, and Leanne's team, you know, those Tomb Guardians are definitely due for a redraft. They are horrific.
Yeah, my blow, stand firm and grab, my blow and guard. Yeah, both horrible. And even, I mean, the break tackle is also fun as well. That'll be dodging out on a 2. Yeah, I think break tackle's my new favorite skill. And yeah, Leanne saying, good chance to be a brutal team. They've got heavy hitters now, but not as slow as some. Yeah, that's it. I think you can kind of build them like a tank, really. Like you've got big heavy hitters that kind of secure a blob as it moves up the field. But it was quite interesting in that Tomb King on Tomb King. It ended up being sort of 4 Tomb Guardians and a lineman against 4 Tomb Guardians and a lineman, and then the blitzers and everyone else like having their own combat in the other side. But yeah, anyway, moving on to stars, we are back to Phil and back to Joe. Joe managing to secure a 1-1 draw here against Phil, which is, again, a very impressive result for a new coach. Yeah, standard weather, and Phil taking Joseph Bugman, which is quite a fun one. So that's the sort of dwarf star player, who I think that is the star player rather than the coach, but I can't remember if that's old rules where he could be a coach and now he can't be. I don't know. But yeah, early touchdown from Phil. Joe, and then Phil getting the turn 16 equaliser. Any thoughts here, Tom?
Yeah, it seems an interesting little game here. I'm just quickly looking at that Joseph Bugman rule. It's got an early, got a touchdown in turn 6. Unfortunately, had a casualty. These Bretonians are again, just like the Tomb Guardians. I just don't know whether people have figured them out yet, because we had this conversation on the last one. We don't know whether they're punchy, we don't know whether they're dodgy, we don't know whether they're passy at all. So it's an interesting one, but hats off to get a 1-1 draw, especially, like I say, against a human team with quite a lot of stats already, which clearly gave him gave the 90 Hoes a lot of extra points. Whether with the fact that he had 430k, would I have taken 1 keg and 2 rerolls and a Joseph Bugman? I don't know. Because again, looking through the teams that have played and also just looking generally through the teams, everyone's done the usual get yourself up to 3 rerolls plus, and you seem to be safe. So I don't know whether extra 2 rerolls would have actually came into 4 in this one.
Yeah, I mean, at 430, that's talking Morgan, Griff and someone else, or 2 other good ones, I think. Yeah, I think Phil maybe got quite lucky on his anti-star plays here, looking at what the Bretonians can take. But yeah, Phil said that game was difficult, and a kind of a very good turn on 16 on him managed to allow him to get that equalizer. Which, yeah, I think games that are that close are always the most satisfying. And Joe said, I drank through my rerolls like cheap hooch. So maybe having those extra 2 rerolls allowed him to keep that draw as tight as he did.
And also, just before you, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, please.
Before you go, Scott, Shop Scott has always got a nice plethora of star players. So if you are thinking, oh, I'd like to take one, but I don't have that figure, have a word with Scott just before the game, and he'll see if he's got that star player that he can obviously loan you for the game.
Yeah, just ask nicely and return it how you find it.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Scott will be fine.
Yeah.
And if not, ask around. Quite a lot of us have star players, and always happy to lend out, especially for new coaches who might not have them. Okay, moving on. We're nearly there. We are back to Leanne, and now joined by Mr. Handley here, who managed to take a 2-0 win over Leanne here. I don't know much about this game, so let's have a look through. Leanna's in chat, ready to talk us through it, I think. Very sunny to start with, so, you know, not that massively affects Tomb King's gameplay, but it does minimize those kind of completions. A few early fouls and cashes from Leanne's side here, but the kind of her key blitzer fouling and getting sent off on turn 8 looks like it allowed James to get that touchdown on the way back through. And then sort of moving through that, again, kind of casualties resulting in regen, so no sort of permanent damage here, but James managing to get that extra touchdown on turn 14.
Yeah, you would think that really sunny is perfect weather for them, being
dry and dusty. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether that was a little bit of a turn 8 and doing a foul with a blitzer. Oh, that's a bit risky. But I suppose it'd be interesting to know which player that was against. So it was an interesting one.
Yeah, and yeah, so Leanne's saying, yeah, James got his revenge for the last time they played, but Leanne's role's not kind of doing what she needed to do what she wanted, and kind of doing hard work to keep him from scoring, and forcing James to make the rolls he needed to. But you know, sometimes the rolls get made, and then yeah, and James manages to get the win here. So have a quick look at James's team, because he, I think, hasn't featured for a while. 1620 team value now, with a full 16. Maybe that's him wanting to get an honor at the end. Maybe that's a low blow for James there, but I'm sure he'll forgive me.
A quick one for you as the expert in this in this stream.
What?
Why save up for a secondary on a blitzer and go for hit and run?
I think what he will have done is save for a skill up, not got what he wanted, and then looked at a way of giving Tomb Kings, which are very slow, an extra piece of movement.
But
that was my logic there, because you know, hit and run will give you that extra one move. In addition, say you're moving 7, which, and on such a slow team like Tomb Kings, I think that can make all the difference. Having that extra square of movement would be my logic there.
So the movement doesn't need to include your normal movement then?
Don't think so, because you hit, follow up, and then hit and run 1 square, which is how you can make a gutter runner 1-turn touchdown from the line of scrimmage, because you can sprint and hit and run if it's got the ball, which would then allow you to move 13 squares rather than 12 and score the touchdown line.
Leanne's also saying it worked on giving him a strong defense as well.
Yeah, and
Nice.
and Leanne managed to stop his third touchdown, which is, you know, it's always nice when it feels like you managed to stop a touchdown, so that's great. Okay, round 10. No, not round 10. Back to Destroyers. It's been a long day for me. Back to Jamie, and this time against the Tomb Kings. This looked like quite an interesting game. I think I was in store while this was happening, but kind of wasn't paying too much attention. But standard weather, Zug on the Old World Alliance, you know, earning his money pretty early with a casualty into a relatively early score on a turn 4. So obviously feeling a bit pressured. And yeah, then kind of sort of a bit of back and forth. And how did someone get sent off? There might be a foul missing there. But yeah, pretty solid game, I think.
Yeah, I got the impression from speaking to Jamie after his previous game against the Blackhawks that I pitied anyone who was going to be up against him afterwards, because he was not a happy chappy. So I think this was kind of revenge. I don't think it was anything personal against the Flamingos. I just think he just wanted to get a few.
That's Blood Bowl vengeance.
Yeah, especially with taking Mighty Zug. That's a bit hardcore.
And let's have a look at this Tomb King. So I think this is our last Tomb King team.
It is.
Yeah, again, guards, mighty blows, frenzy. This is looking like a scary team as well. I think all of these Tomb King teams are none that I want to face. And I think it's going to be really interesting seeing how they all do as they get dispersed into the top and bottom knockout phases. Having had this one I think was isolated, but the other three all being sort of in the same group, it'll be really interesting seeing them sort of release into the wild and how they face against all the other teams now.
I don't know whether it's something that's happened with the changes in the skills, the rules, or whatever, but it just seems that a lot of, well, in fact, all teams across the board, regardless of the race or whatever, have had a good amount of skills that they've been able to put onto their teams. Because in previous years, we've had those ones where we've had these complete runaways, where people have just had multiple skills and others have been sitting there with hardly any skills at all. And again, you're relying heavily on inducements every game. But in all of these matches, you've seen very low amounts of inducements and very much, building up your team how you want it. So it's been quite good.
Yeah, that's it. I think it feels like everyone's sort of creeping to 1300 minimum now. And I think it's sort of, if one person does it, it's like the block arms race. It's once you get to a certain point, skills, star players aren't quite as useful at fighting back. And actually just having your own skilled up team is then almost worth it more. And I suppose additionally, we've got the sort of 8-game season rather than 6, which does give us 2 more games worth of SPP. But yeah, you're right. It's really ramping up as it's going on. Okay, into the Horde group for our penultimate game, and we'll sort of touch on our live game a little bit. So this is our sort of final played game, which is Graham's Elves versus Andy's Dwarves. 2-1 win to Graham here with the Elves. I know this game, which Andy sort of spoke to me at the end, and I think he did so he gets a sort of honourable mention for me. He had been, I think, playing tournament games recently and was used to his blitzers having stand firm, and had been playing, I think, for 6 rounds as if they had stand firm or something like that. And then after realizing that, he then took them both off the pitch as if he'd deployed with too many, and then played with 2 players down as a sort of a fair kind of recompense for the misunderstanding. And Graham and Andy both agreed on that. So I think that was very good of him to sort of do that in a way of mitigating a mistake. But even so, getting managing to still get a touchdown with that, and then having to kind of fight back against elves, which are far quicker than dwarves. There's something. Oh yeah. I think there may have been some forgotten. I will just double check this, but I think there was some forgotten casualties recorded, which is why it looks like he hasn't scored four casualties in one turn with 2 on a player. But I think there was a conversation about missing some. So I mean, even with that kind of really high scoring star player game there, 7 casualties against 7 injuries. it's sort of Graham won, but at what cost? Which is maybe a sort of elven motto, I suppose.
Equally, it's a bit strange that Andy took on a bribe, but as far as we can see, no fouls.
No, but it's probably to keep the death roller on an extra drive.
Okay.
Would be because I think Andy now has a death roller as it was sent off on the end of the second touchdown. So my bets is that was to keep that death roller in the game a turn or a drive longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's have a look at Graham's team after that 7 injury game. There's more players there than I was expecting. But yeah, what do you think of this team, Tom?
He got away lightly. Because both teams were almost guaranteed to go through anyway. This Graham's team was, I think, was top of the league. I think, yeah. So he had a lot of players there that could have been out for the next knockout game. He's got one blitzer there that's out, hit and run and dodge. Okay. But he's got another blitzer who's got
He's
no
down
signal.
2 blitzers. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got 2 blitzers that are both out. That might be an impact. But and then he's got 2 linemen, so he got away. In my mind, he got away lightly. If the thrower or one of the throwers and the catcher had gone as well, that'd have been a bit problematic.
Yeah, there's still a sort of touchdown scoring team here with the throwers and catchers, but being down those blitzers is also quite scary.
Yeah.
And has he done all of his games now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Yeah, so that is his knockout team. So I'm expecting we see some fancy elf star players in Graham's first knockout, I think. And then a quick look at Andy's dwarves. 1560 here with the current team value. Tom, are you big on dwarves? How do you think on this one?
That looks horrible. That really is horrible. It's like dwarves and orcs this season just look horrible. I just don't want to play against them. So, and we will come to a little bit later with who's potentially going through. But this is the only dwarf team in the whole season, but it looks a nasty piece of work.
Yeah. Yeah, very scary. And that 27 SB is a very nice sort of end of season boon. 2, 4, 6, 7, and he's got one more game to go as well. So this isn't even their final form, as it were. Okay, should we have a quick look at the live game, which is
we'll come
4-0
to it because we've just had an update on it.
Yeah. So we've just moved into 4-0 against the Underworld Denizens. He's down 5 players, Carl, which maybe is impacting that. But he took Skitter and Nobler. Turn 2, Nobler was out. Snotling injury turn 3. Back-to-back touchdowns, including a 1 turn from the Bretonians here. And then his injury, so badly hurt to his Skaven blitzer, so it's coming back for the next game. Badly hurt. Yeah. So I mean, Carl is taking a lot of a beating here, but it's not permanent.
And equally, it's like I say, how many are knocked out? That's what we want to know. Because to be able to get a 4th touchdown against the Underworld, that's pretty good going. Because that Underworld has got a lot of decent players, or did have a lot of decent players there. So
yeah. I mean, well, he's still got 4 more turns. Can this be a 5-0?
Or can they pull it back? There's still 4 turns to go.
There's a draw on the board. We just need back-to-back touchdowns from Carl. So I think we'll return to that next week. And yeah, interested to see where that goes. And I'm sure I'll catch up with them beforehand so we know what happens. Okay, we are looking at the standings. I don't have Chris's matrix up, so I don't know who can still go through and who can't. I think that's okay. We can look at it and maybe figure it out between us and hopefully not give anyone false hope because I think the standings are all relatively set. Tom, do you want to run us through Horde?
Yeah, so we've got obviously Graham sitting pretty at the top with 16 with the Elven Union. We all at the very beginning thought that was going to be an absolute crunch fest, and we were completely wrong. Elven Union has clearly dodged around and made good against all that Tomb King and Dwarf blitzer action. So well done, Graham. And obviously you've got Andy in second, and then you've got all the Tomb Kings below. I think we had a conversation. We're looking at about probably 13 or 14 on the to get through on a wild card. Yeah.
Yeah, so I expect that means James is probably into the lower division with these two at the upper division, as in top 16 and bottom 16. But yeah, I mean, we will confirm all of that next week when we know the actual standings once they're done, and then hopefully we can reveal reveal the wild cards at that point. Blades here, what an upset with Tom's win. So Justin comfortably at the top with sort of all of the points all confirmed for the games that can't be played. And I think they and that does remind me, I'm looking for so this goes to sort of everyone. I'm looking for a coach who can do a standing game either Thursday or Friday evening this week from 6, or and then additionally, someone who can do a standing game between the 21st and the 24th, so any time over the weekend. But please send me a message if you can, because we've got 2 coaches who want to play their games against standards. Yeah, Tom, how's it feel being second place?
Yeah, it's the highest I've ever been in any of my seasons. It was a bit of a surprise. Very pleased. Yeah, and also above Chris, which is kind of amazing, really, because Chris is always a you always worry when you get certain players and teams in your group, and Chris was exactly one of them.
Because he's just
it's going to be interesting. And equally, we are so the Necromantic Horror are 3 for 3. So there's 3 Necromantic Horror going through. There's only one other race that's also 3 for 3 as well.
Yeah. And do you have a little Necro support group that you're not telling anyone about?
Yeah. It's our AA group. We talk about how we can how we're always overpriced. That's what we talk about. Yeah.
And how lucky you got regeneration because Shambling did. So Justin and Tom going through in the top half here with Chris probably taking a wildcard spot on 16. And I think Ben has also now finished all of his games, but will likely be in the elimination chamber with details to be confirmed next week when hopefully Chris is around as well. Avengers. Will absolutely storming this for his first season, and only defeated once, but on a 6-win streak. Still a game in hand, so he could get some of the highest scoring. I think he already is the highest seeded coach in the division in the knockouts. So he will likely be seed 1 in the knockouts there. Now I think I believe second and third place is still up for grabs between Scott and his vampires and Andy and his goblins, depending on their game, whether they can get that played. Because I know they've been trying to organise it for a while, but and then Nick, I think, has now played all of his games, so it's just that Andy versus Scott to sort of decide that group, which will put them, will be contentious for the knockouts as well. Sorry, the wildcards as well. Into stars. Tom, do you want to talk us through your necromantic alliance?
Oh yes, beautiful. Well, John has just been sitting up there at the top from the very start, really, hasn't he? He's just been sitting pretty. But I have to say, Simon has been due diligently moving up the ranks and just coming in there very, very hot and very quick. From interesting Phil with the humans a couple of weeks back, they were sitting right at the very bottom there. Now they're in third place. I don't know if there's any more games to be played or not.
I don't think so. I think we're 8 out of 8 all along the row here. So this is the final standings.
So this was the last hurrah, really, wasn't it? But
yeah.
This is one of those games. This is one of those groups that's been interesting where people have left it right to the last minute to come up, and it just, unfortunately, sorry, Jane, you've had a good innings with these, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out this time. But again, sometimes you look at these teams, you think, are they going to come back for a redraft?
That's it, and I think the redrafts next season will be really interesting. I don't want to wish away this season, but I am interested to see who redrafts what next. Okay, into destroyers. So Mark, comfortably at the top here, unable to be knocked out even with Jamie's last game, but Jamie's last result did manage to knock Dube's Tomb Kings down from second. And I think only Jamie and Scott's game left to play, which will not affect the standings in any way, but perhaps Jamie might manage to sort of bump up through that. Anything big on this group?
Yeah, I think it's the fact that the Slurry squad were always at the top, and it was that whole they're safe and it's interesting because we looked at them as the main marker of 17 is the target, but as we've seen in previous and as we'll see in a few other groups, 17 is not the main number you can get. You can get higher.
Yeah, definitely. And 5 wins is still an admirable kind of result. But people have managed 6 and 7, which I suppose I wasn't really expecting when we sort of drew the groups at the start. So into the counts, Tom, would you like to talk us through it?
Well, yeah. Well, this is your division, so you've done well with it, and it's interesting because you've got a really solid team. That is a scary looking team. But it's interesting to see that you weren't the biggest orc team. Maybe we should paint your team yellow to make them go faster or something, or red, or is it?
It's red.
It's red.
Yeah, I think we orcs clearly need a little group chat like the necromantics, but it's nice to see the orcs outweighing the necromantics in this group, with Dave coming in second and Simon now on third place, and I think that is sort of all decided, with Jack dropping out, and Yeah, Simon did. Oh, yeah, one game we didn't really touch on. Simon did manage to play a standing game because he wanted to try and get some SPP. And so you may have seen in the chat, but there has been. Well, let's have a quick look at this team. He took quite the beating in the standing game, which is obviously a risk that can happen. Down a rat ogre, down a gutter runner, down a thrower on the underworld denizens, and a goblin as well. So into his knockout sort of elimination chamber, he's on 710 CTV. So there could be some big stars in his standing game there.
Yeah, I think we should come clean now, because it's not the fact that Scott isn't on here because of some contractual agreement. He is in the New Dice Please safe house, being protected, because I think Simon's out looking for him.
Yeah, and yes, so yeah, it was all a bit short notice organising a stand-in, but Simon was happy to sort of play someone from a pot 2 group, and thank you also to Justin for offering, but timings didn't sort of work out in the end. But yeah, so tough division. It was all of these players are very, very good, and I think Chris has got a lot of potential as well. Although he had 5 losses, I think all of them were very close, and he got the draw against me as well. Ending on the assassins. Tom, do you want to talk us through this one?
Yeah, again, it was one of those ones where obviously we've got Tom Huns up at the top there, but it's not high on the overall scoring front, really. So we've got Tom on 17, Scott on 14. We've currently got a game in play at the moment. I don't know if that's going to have any impact on what we're dealing with here in this team. I don't know if there's any more games to be played in this one. I think this might be the last game.
I think there's Tom Huns versus Bretonians still to play, which I think they're going to try and do on Sunday, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, we're kind of, I think everyone else is very nearly there. There might be 1 or 2 games, but if you're still awaiting your matches or can't get a hold of someone, or for whatever reason you can't play it, do try and let us know. Let's have a quick look at the calendar while we're waiting. Yeah, so we've got Will and Scott on Wednesday, James and Andy on Thursday, and then Scott and Jamie on Saturday. But yeah, if you can kind of get your final game scheduled in the calendar, and if you're and we've just had the 5th touchdown.
You've seen it. Yeah.
I just saw it happen. Completely interrupted my train of thought. Oh wow. That I think Chris might be in chat. I don't know if that is him. Is that our highest clean sheet game? Maybe.
Not over yet. It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. No, but it could be 6-0, and then it definitely is.
Escaping thrower with a minus on the strength.
On strength, that's rough. That's a tough loss in the game before knockouts. Anyway, that completely interrupted my train of thought. Yeah, if you're looking to get a looking to play your stand-in, or you're willing to play as a stand-in, please let me know. I think we have all the teams covered, so you can borrow a team and sort of play your games. But yeah, reach out. So looking for coaches Thursday or Friday night, or Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So basically Thursday to Monday, we're looking for 2 coaches. So please send me a message. Yeah, hopefully we can then get those games organized for the other people. Tom, do you want to quickly choose what do you normally do? Is it match of the week, player of the week, and what's the other thing? Can't remember.
Match of the week, coach of the week, and a bounty.
Okay.
So
are you ready to go first?
So I have to say, I'm probably going to give match of the week to Bretonians versus Skaven. So it's the Nighty Hoes against the Freebooting Firkins for their first, the Bretonians' first win ever. So well done. That's fantastic. Amazing going. For the coach of the week, I think I'm just quickly flicking through to see. I think I was actually going to go for Jamie, because he has had an absolute roller coaster of a week here. From that kind of looked like an absolute frustrating but enjoyable game at the same time against the De Brewsburys. Of a 0-0, but with hardly anyone on the pitch, through to a 2-0 win against the Flamingos. So I think that's my coach of the week.
Yep.
On the let's have a look on the
a minute for the bounties, or
on the bounty side of things. What am I going to go for here? Oh, there's quite a few out there. But there's no one coming to mind at the moment. So I'm gonna plead the fifth on this one, and I'll let people pass because we're going.
You're so kind.
Yeah.
Not through indecisiveness. It's you're being nice. Yeah. For me, I think my game of the week was that weirdly the 0-0 draw with Jamie and Sam. That was just nail-bitingly close, and yeah, very impressed. They both left in calm manners after how they both were robbed of touchdowns, and it could have gone either way at any turn. And then I think for my coach of the week, I think I'll give it to Andy Philpott. I think recognizing you made a mistake and being very good and kind of fair about how to deal with it, which probably cost him the game. But I think that is sort of a testament to his character that he, withdrew those players and then played on. And then for bounties, I think this Mighty Blow stand firm grab Scorpion King of Leanne's needs a bounty. That thing is terrifying. So I don't have Tom's calm grace. I wanted a bounty out. Oh yeah, and yeah, okay. Justin has called out another one. Jamie did get us join the Strength 4 Blitzer Club, which yeah, maybe Norman Apt should also have a bounty alongside all of the other Strength 4s. Brilliant. Okay, is there anything else you want to say, Tom, or are we?
No, it's just been a fantastic couple of amazing season so far, and we're now going into hopefully some fantastic games in the knockout stages.
Yeah, and so next week we'll be doing, I think, the draw live, to be confirmed. If not, it will be at the end of the stream. And so sorry, at the end of the roundup, and then we'll do the draws, and hopefully Chris will be around and we can talk through the sort of arrangements for the upper division and bottom division. One thing I should also quickly say is if anyone, for whatever reason, whether they just they're fed up with their team or they've got other commitments or just don't really feel like it, if you're planning on not playing your knockout games, be top or bottom division, please let us know. Because we want to make sure everyone who wants to play will get to play a game rather than just get buys and pass through. So if you can let us know, and we'll do a post as well in the Discord. But otherwise, I think we're all there. And yeah, I'm hoping if I sort of magically wave my hands, we might go off stream with our live to studio chat. So thank you all for being here, and we're going to sit here awkwardly until the stream turns off.
Thanks, everyone.